There are so many players in the transfer portal here in the offseason of 2021, and it has gotten to the point where most of the time I look at a particular starting player leaving a school, leaving a situation, and think, he's playing, he's starting, he's in a good situation. Why? Welcome to the Voice of College Football, breaking down the game you all love, best discussion, debate, and analysis. Please like the video, share these videos out on social media, let people know that we're here talking college football with you every day. Okay, forget everything I just said, because if there's a situation in which there was a need and a fit, this is it. Spencer Rattler, transfer portal, leaves Oklahoma, and has committed to South Carolina. If there is a poor quarterback room, bad quarterback situation, one of the strangest quarterback situations in the country in Shane Beamer's first season as head coach, and God bless him for getting this program and this team to a bowl game at 6-6, it is South Carolina. They needed a quarterback, and they got potentially one of the best in the country. Yes, that's Spencer Rattler, who got benched by Lincoln Riley in favor of Caleb Williams, could still be one of the best quarterbacks in the country. So South Carolina goes from just a scrap heap of players. They played started three different quarterbacks this past season to, again, one of the most talented in the country. So South Carolina also may now boast the best starting quarterback in the SEC Eastern Division. Okay, Spencer Rattler, of course, was taken by Oklahoma as the number one player in the state of Arizona, the number one quarterback in the nation to go to Oklahoma in 2019. He sat behind Jalen Hurts for one season, and then he assumed the starting role in 2020 and had some early hiccups, threw some interceptions that cost Oklahoma some games, against Kansas State most notably. But then the Sooners went on a tear, won 8 consecutive games, won the Big 12 championship, and won the won the Cotton Bowl over Florida. And Spencer Rattler finished the season with 28 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and really cleaned up his act down the stretch. And he, along with Sam Howell, were the Heisman frontrunners going into this 2021 season. He got off to a bit of a rough start, was lackluster. His team didn't perform for him. His offensive line did not perform for him or his wide receivers. And Spencer Rattler, of course, the quarterback, typically takes the praise and the blame. So after 11 touchdowns and 5 picks, he gets benched in favor of Caleb Williams, who then took off. But at the same time, you saw that Caleb Williams wasn't perfect either. He had some rough goes as Oklahoma faltered down the stretch. So now, Shane Beamer, the new South Carolina head coach who's put in the one season, his team playing in a bowl game against North Carolina, and that being a tremendous accomplishment for a program that went 2-10 in 2020. Shane Beamer has used his contacts at Oklahoma, where he was an assistant coach from 2018 to 20, left there, knows Spencer Rattler, goes back to his Oklahoma ties, and takes Rattler and brings him to Columbia, South Carolina. South Carolina's quarterback situation, the aforementioned quarterback situation of Luke Doty, 60% completion percentage, 5 touchdowns, 3 picks. He was the most notable of the 3, the most highly touted of the 3. Jason Brown started down the stretch. He completed 55% of his passes, 8 touchdowns and 6 picks. And then, of course, the story that raised a lot of eyebrows across the nation, because South Carolina was so void of quarterbacks that starting in the Vandy game, they had to go to a graduate assistant coach, Zeb Noland. Zeb Noland played at Iowa State like 3 or 4 years ago. Hadn't played for that long, and he acquitted himself extremely well considering the circumstances. 55%, 6 touchdowns, 1 pick. Now South Carolina has a legit quarterback. Again, number 1 rated coming out of high school. He's proven he can play on the big stage. Maybe he didn't quite meet expectations this past season, but still a quality quarterback with 39 career touchdown passes and only the 12 interceptions. Coming along with Spencer Rattler one of his favorite targets, a tight end, Austin Stogner, who, of course, also had a relationship with Shane Beamer when they were at Oklahoma. Stogner caught 14 passes for 3 touchdowns this past season, including a touchdown that kept Oklahoma in the game in its finale in trying to get to a Big 12 championship game against Oklahoma State, a game that the Sooners lost 37-33 with Lincoln Riley taking off the very next day. Stogner has caught 47 passes in his career in Norman with 8 touchdowns. Rattler, Stogner now belong to the Gamecocks of South Carolina and Shane Beamer. Your thoughts below, right here at the Voice of College Football, SEC.